Welcome to the channel, folks. The world seems to be falling apart right now. There's wars, violence, attempted genocides, all types of horrible things that many of us probably thought that we would never see in our lifetimes. And they're all happening here, right now. Real time on social media and mainstream media. And the sad thing about it is that in many instances, we don't know what's going on. And in some instances, we're being overwhelmed by the cruelty, the hatred, the tragedy, and the disassociation about what's going on by many parties in the whole world. This is definitely what they call a Kali Yuga moment. A Kali Yuga moment where all that craziness that has been stored up over the centuries, over the time, are just being poured back out. Where our karma is not being delayed anymore. What we do as people and nations is having a boomerang effect right away. The global warming is destroying many nations and many people. There are floods and hurricanes happening now. A lot of earthquakes, all kinds of things happening. And here we sit in the middle, trying to find a way to find joy and peace, love and contentment, while we are living in this craziness and trying to help and identify with those who are suffering. The question is, how do we do this? How do we identify with the suffering and not go down into that horrible rabbit hole ourselves? By remembering who we are. By remembering that we are not finite beings. No, we are eternal beings. And many of us, those who are awake enough, have not come to this earth by mistake. We haven't come here in order to be in a school. We haven't come here to burn off karma and to be beaten like a purgatory. Many of us, those who are awake, and mostly the ones listening to these videos, since it's just a small number, we have come in as members of the chosen in order to create life and light and hope in this world right here. We have come in to teach the ways of life and to remind those who are very close to awakening of who and what they are, so that they can return to the source as the beautiful, loving, and perfect beings that they are and have always been. You see, this world is one that gives us amnesia. It locks us in little boxes of all of the identities that we have been given from the time we were born, the ones that we have adopted, the ones that we have received, the ones that we have to live by in order to be safe and live in comfort in this world. But in our lives, something happens most of the time known as dissatisfaction, when there's so much anger, anguish, pain, and sorrow that we realize that no matter what we do, even when we have done everything we were told to do and have become what people said we should, if we even become totally successful the way they said we should in order to be good people and have self-esteem, even after that we realize that there is a big dissatisfaction and we have to deal with it. The psychologists and the psychiatrists will tell you how to deal with it. They'll tell you to deal with it by sublimation, by doing something that is acceptable to replace what you really want to do in your heart. And that leads to a quiet life of desperation for some people and shame. The shame comes in because they can't even admit that they're feeling terrible and depressed by life because others are worse off physically in the world. But when we remember who we are, we bust the boxes. We realize that we are the divine, the energy, the creative energy, not only on earth but everywhere. And we are like fingers of the gods reaching down into this earth in order to change it and reshape it in order, like the gods, or God, or whatever you would like to call the divine power, we have the power to recreate life out of death, strength out of sorrow, discipline out of loss. We have the power to create all good things. That is who we are. That is what we are. And that is why we are here. It is like there is this big giant being that is all knowing, all understanding, and all powerful. And it says to itself, how is it that I become in such peace, in a place of love and pleasure and kindness? A spark comes out, a thought, a memory. And in this memory, you and I and a myriad of beings appear, living out the journey of this being from the dust to total peace, love, and tranquility. And so we are the memories, the spark that exists in the brain of the I am. And as we remember that, we awaken to return to our true self. And so you see, we live in a state where we are living out this growth and this evolution, but at the same time, we are already there. And this spark of the divine, remembering who it is actually the answer to the question. That is how the One became all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-loving. I guess on this video I am saying that it is time for us to wake up and realize that we are that which many of us are seeking. We have already arrived. And when we do this, we return back to ourselves. And this life becomes nothing but a dance, a play, a time to experience all of the things that are happening and to move through those things in joy and with a sense of peace, including all of the tragedies, all of the hurt, and all of the pain, knowing that these experiences are serving in order to wake us up and to build a sense of kindness and empathy that stops us from becoming monsters who have power over everything, and help us maintain the love that is at the core of the universe. So rejoice. Find meditative ways or prayerful ways or other spiritual disciplines to drive away the negative voices, to move to a blissful state, a peaceful state, and continue to do those, but most importantly, realize that all of us are eternal beings who were never born, who will never die, who aren't thinking too much when we meditate, who aren't afraid of death, because we are the source of all thought, wisdom, and knowledge, just having an experience here on earth for the sake of passing on information to our brothers and sisters who are on the other side, dancing, moving, and living in the divine right now, while they stand with us and work with us and abide with us and comfort us. That is the truth of life. And the greatest thing that we can do, especially nowadays, is to walk in truth, live in truth, and be the truth. Be the way, and be the life. Thanks for reading with us. Hit the bell if you want to be notified, and hit the like sign. Leave a message if you want to in the comments, so we can build this station and we can really go deeply into real spirituality. And if you go to our website, the link is down below, you will have access to our book about the chosen, about the ones who we are. It is a book that is full of wisdom, knowledge, and the deepest spirituality that you'll ever read during these modern times. Thanks once again, and we hope to talk with you again soon. Namaste.